So as promised, I'm going to go through platform versus store, or Shopify store in this case, in a bit more detail. What are the pros of using the ShineOn platform as opposed to having your own Shopify store? The first point, I've already mentioned this in the last video, and it's true for any print-on-demand service, is that you don't need to hold any stock. It's the whole point of using print-on-demand. You provide the designs and they handle everything else, whether you sell jewellery, mugs, t-shirts, towels, etc. There are many print-on-demand services out there, and you can literally get anything printed onto anything if you want or need to. Next is that you don't need a Shopify store to use platform. Therefore, you don't have to pay the monthly costs that are associated with having a Shopify store. Also, typically when you have a store, you install other apps and services on that store, which cost extra money every month on top of your subscription costs. All this equals extra money, extra cost every month that you don't have to think about when using the ShineOn platform. Number 3, it's really quick to get up and running. All you need to do is sign up to ShineOn. I'll put a link under this video. Upload a design or two, and then you can start running ads to your product pages. If you compare this process to fixing up a store, it can be a lot of work and learning if you've never done it before. Uploading a design to the ShineOn platform and starting ads within half an hour, it's really easy in comparison. Okay, next is logistics. So when using the platform, and once you get orders, pretty much everything is handled for you by ShineOn. They handle the production of your products, they handle shipping, they email tracking links out to the customer, they handle any support that might come in from those customers. If a customer wants or needs to do a return or a refund, again, handled by ShineOn. If you have a store yourself and you're not on platform, you have to handle all of the above. Whether you try and run that store on your own or you employ a VA or multiple VAs to do the tasks for you, it all means extra costs of money and or time. So yeah, when you use the ShineOn platform, all of this is handled for you. Next pro for using the platform is retargeting. ShineOn does retargeting on your behalf, so you don't have to. If you don't know what retargeting is, I'll just run through it real quick. It's basically extra ads on top of the ads you're already running. I guess the easiest way to explain this would be to say, imagine if you're over on Amazon and you look at a new kettle, but you don't buy it. You'll probably notice later on that day or that week or even after that, you'll be on another website that isn't Amazon, and you'll get little ads popping up for the kettle that you looked at in the first place. It could have been a charger for your laptop or a cookbook or anything on Amazon, but you'll most likely see ads for that product if you don't buy it. When you're running a Shopify store, you have to run normal ads to your products and then extra ads on top of these for retargeting. This is the norm when you do Facebook ads. So not only would you learn how to do product ads, you have to learn how to fix up retargeting ads. They also cost you more money on top of the ads you're already running. This is yet another thing that ShineOn does on your behalf. Lastly, platform is perfect for newbies. If you're just starting out or you have limited money, this is a better and cheaper way than opening your own store. It's less headaches, it's quicker, and it's a perfect way to put your toe in the water, as it were. Okay, now I've talked about the pros, I need to talk about the cons as well. While the pros do outweigh the cons, it would be unfair not to mention them. So let's get into those. Number 1 is that you can't build a brand when you use platform. When you have a Shopify store, it's yours. You build that store, you choose its look, its feel, its image, its message, and in turn, its brand. It's an entity. You can start, you grow it, you perfect it, you make it yours, and hopefully in the end you're going to be proud of it. When you use the ShineOn platform, you pretty much end up with a bunch of product pages, and that's it. There's no central hub or point of reference to all your pages. It's just a load of pages you have to link to individually. Now, as a means to earning money, there's no issue with this at all. For a lot of people trying out internet marketing, this is all they need and they're happy with it. However, others may hit a point and decide they want to transition to having their own store. On the platform, you're also limited to the type of product pages made available to you. There are limitations on the look and feel you can give to your pages on platform. Also, I'd just say to bear in mind that there are thousands of people all using exactly the same looking pages, which could lead to oversaturation at some point, possibly if it hasn't happened already. However, the pages that ShineOn make available are very good. They sell the products fine. They're obviously tweaked in order to convert. The guys know what they're doing, that's obvious. However, you may just want to offer your customers a bit of a different experience, and you can't do this when you use platform. Next is no apps or add-ons. So when you have a store, a Shopify store, you can use all kinds of apps and add-ons. If you didn't know, the apps that you use on Shopify stores, they're just like the ones on your iPhone. They're extra little plugins that can add extra functionality and do certain tasks for you. A lot of them are free, but some cost extra on top of your basic Shopify plan. And there are literally thousands available that do all kinds of things. You don't get access to any of these when you're using platform. See, I particularly like the Shopify apps that increase your AOV, which means average order value. I really like to use those and they make me a lot of money. The way these work is, say when you're selling a necklace, a potential customer would come to your product page on platform and they can buy one or they can buy multiple items. They can buy 2 or 3 or 8, but there's no massive incentive provided to them on platform apart from certain limited discount codes. I like using apps where you can give your customer all kinds of options. So say one that really works for me is buy 2 and get 1 free, or buy 2 and get 20% off. With apps on a store, you can configure all kinds of different options and incentives and discounts for the customer to buy. It'll help push them into buying more than one item is what you want, which puts your AOV right up. So that's one thing. Those apps really do work and they make me a lot of money. I will just point that out. On platform also, you can't do upsells or cross sales. And just as well as the apps that I've already mentioned, there's hundreds of really helpful, useful apps that you can add to your store that do all kinds of different things. You have no access to these when you use platform. So that's something to take into consideration as well. What's next? Payment schedule. This may or may not be important for you depending on how much money you have. When you start sending traffic, making sales, you have a bit of a longer wait to get paid from ShineOn than if you were using your own store with payment processors such as Stripe and especially PayPal. PayPal payments are instant, so you get your hands on the money straight away once the customer pays. With Stripe, it takes me about 3 days to get my money. Payments from ShineOn on platform, they're going to take a little longer than this. Not much longer, but just, it might not help you. If you're on a tight budget, you have to wait until a sold item is shipped before you can request payment for it. So say a customer buys an item, you need to wait 2 to 3 days before that gets shipped out. Once that's shipped out, you then put in a request for the payment. And then once that request is put in, it can be a further 1 to 2 business days before you actually get your hands on the money. If you have deep pockets, this may not be an issue, but it is worth mentioning. And then if you see that I've put there spinning money, this just means turning it over and funneling it back into the business if you need to. For example, you get paid, then you immediately turn that money round and put it straight back into more ads or designs to keep the fire burning. Lastly, retargeting. And while I did mention this in the last slide as being a pro, which it is, you are limited as to what kind of retargeting you can do. You don't have as much control over the ads than if you were running your own through Facebook. When you run your own, you've got a lot more control. So say you start running your retargeting ads, and after a while, after a week or two, you'll notice certain demographics are performing much better than others. For example, 25 to 34 year olds are spending more money on this necklace and have a higher ROAS than, say, 55 to 64 year olds. Or it could be Americans like this necklace and are spending more money on it than Australians. Or maybe it's a combination of these two, or whatever. Hopefully you understand what I mean. So in my retargeting ads, once I see this happen, I split them out. So I will copy the original retargeting ad and adjust the demographics to kind of laser target specific ones. These options aren't available to you when using platform. That's about it. You'll see there's more pros than cons, and that's not on purpose, right? It's not my intention to push you into choosing platform or having a store. That's completely up to you. I'll just end on saying that if you're new to this and or have a limited budget, for sure your best choice when starting out is platform. I would also encourage you to think about opening your own store further down the line for a lot of reasons, especially once you begin to make a lot of money, hopefully, which is what this is all about. Whatever you do in the end is up to you. If you're interested in trying out ShineOn, I strongly recommend them as a print-on-demand supplier. I'll put a link under this video in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.